Okay, morning, folks. Welcome to the briefing on the last day of the month, 28th of February. Another cold one out there last night. Frost on the car. And you can see why, because of this high pressure and reasonably clear skies last night. Although I stayed up for a long time to try and watch the aurora, didn't actually see anything, or could photograph anything, but it was clear for most of the night. That's not the case today, as there is quite a lot of cloud lurking in the north of England, and it will slowly be coming down our way later in the day. And they're also picking up trough line here, and you'll see what that's showing on the satellite picture of the rainfall radar. So northeasterly flow down through here. Again, it's fairly light in here. Spacing of the isobars, and it's not sort of coming right down from the north, it's sort of curling around here, so it won't be sort of bitterly cold out there. Pressure's fairly high, and this sort of high pressure stays with us certainly for tomorrow, and then into Thursday and beyond that. Really, it looks actually fine for the weekend. A nice run of weather. The front's out in the Atlantic, the jet stream's just travelling down here. The front's out in the Atlantic is dying out. The low pressures are fizzling out during the week. So TAFs, Farnborough, don't know where they're getting 202 knots from. It's just one of those odd things that occasionally come up on the Farnborough tap, but scattered at 3,000 feet. Similar picture to yesterday, really. Cloud base was quite variable during the day, becoming 0 and 010 knots, so northerly, I think a little bit more northeasterly, but 10 knots seems about right. And there's a prob 30 of sort of mist and low cloud to start off with, which we basically had here a little bit here, but it is clearing, and I think by the time we get out there and on the runway, there won't be much for us to worry about. Couple of slightly more long range TAFs. Farnborough are picking up, Gatwick are picking up later this afternoon between 16 and midnight, showers and rain. And Heathrow, very similar. They're saying broken at 1400 and then sometime between 12 and 22, 8,000 meter showers and rain. So it looks like some thicker cloud coming down and outbreaks of rain for later on. Upper winds, as I say, there is a little. This was here and here was 040, 050 yesterday, so a little bit more northerly in it, but not quite as strong, I think, as yesterday. A bit lighter. It was about 25 knots at flying heights yesterday, and in the channel 040, so somewhere between the two. 030, 15 to 20 knots at most today. So SatPic shows that cloud in the Midlands and to the north, and another band of cloud down to the sort of southeast of us, really. This is where the trough line's lying, and you can see that from the rainfall radar that's tracking down through here. Won't be an issue for us. We'll just be watching these showers here and the cloud developing perhaps and coming down towards us later in the day. Temperature wise, don't think it's going to be a lot different from yesterday. It got about 7 degrees. Felt quite pleasant out of the launch point if you weren't stood outside for too long. I think that'll be the case today. It's saying between sort of 5 and 8 degrees, so somewhere around there. Top Meteo, that's the cloud picture for 9 o'clock this morning. They're showing little blobs of cloud to start off with, but clearing fairly quickly, and then turning into cumulus by 11, 12 o'clock. And they describe that as cumulus congested, so spread out basically, I think, for all intents and purposes, and still low cloud in the Oxfordshire, Cambridgeshire area, or lower cloud. And then really as the afternoon goes on, nothing changes much. But apart from the cumulus sort of disappears, and it's sub 2,000 foot cloud solid there. So what they're actually suggesting is at 9 o'clock, there's rain running down the English Channel here. And as the day goes on, by 1, 2 o'clock, it's coming down the country here. We're at risk of an isolated shower. So certainly by 4 o'clock, they're suggesting there'll be rain at or near us. I think that's pretty consistent with the Heathrow forecast, really. So should be a nice day. A bit more north in the wind today, and chance of some rain later towards the end of the day. Okay, airspace wise, not really a lot going on, certainly in the Lasham area, and the usual things out here are the danger areas, but nothing to worry about. And out to the north of us, early this morning, they're doing article dropping at Abingdon, and after dark, or from sunset onwards, they're parachuting at Weston on the Green. So things going on out and around here, but nothing of real relevance to us. Operationally, I think what we're going to do today is we're going to go cables on the north side of the runway, on the north side grass, towed out with the boom, and then the gliders just slightly to the south of that. Launch point vehicle will be on the southern side of the centre line, and we'll air a tow from the southern edge of the main runway on 09. So a whole 09 operation. Grass is pretty dry, but it is, I have to say, the gators pick up mud, so they do spread it around the runway quite well. In general, the grass is fairly dry. Okay, folks, so I'll start getting the gliders out. I think by the time we're ready to fly, this low cloud should have broken up and disappeared, and it should be good to go.